Titans run riot in our online lives. A tiny number of massive companies dictate the terms of public debate, free speech, and privacy, all in a race to profit from our attention, our data, and our content. How were these giants born, and how did they come to dominate the digital world through these extreme concentrations of power and resources? What does it mean for us, and how might we take that power back? Welcome to Taming the Titans. I'm Emily Hart, and in the 5 episodes of this upcoming podcast series, I'll be examining big tech and its huge power over us through a series of conversations with international experts on technology, monopoly power, and human rights. These titans are everywhere, in our pockets, our offices, and our homes. These companies and their services pervade our lives, and the decisions of a few executives now have more influence over our rights online than the decisions of elected officials. And those decisions affect the entire planet. As well as doing damage to online rights and democracy through invasive data practices and, at best, lax content moderation, their policies can spill over into physical violence, from the United States Capitol attack to the genocide in Myanmar and the ethnic violence in Ethiopia. This isn't news to most of us. We shrug, make jokes about our phones listening to us, and sort of get on with it. We know we don't have anywhere to go, any real options, other platforms where we can find our friends and families and favorite outlets. So we keep scrolling, and we keep creating profit for the same big tech companies. We feel stuck. We are pretty stuck. In episodes 1 and 2 of Taming the Titans, we'll look at how power has concentrated in the hands of the extremely few, companies like Meta, Alphabet, and Twitter, and what's currently being done about it. In episodes 3 and 4, we'll consider what that power looks like and what its dangers are for human rights like free speech and privacy. And we'll be looking at the regulation of these companies, which will be a key tool for breaking the vice-like grip of the tech giants, particularly over social media and search engine markets. Most importantly, we'll be talking about how to put at least some of their power back into our own hands. Momentum is building towards tackling the economic as well as the social and political issues these companies cause, with a new focus on regulatory interventions, bringing these companies down to size and forcing them to behave fairly. Episode 5 looks at how we can take part in that growing conversation, how people can get their voices heard and their needs met in the face of these vast multi-billion-dollar corporations. All eyes are on Europe and the US right now, but Latin America is one of the next key battlegrounds, a vast market for online services and a very different backdrop for this debate. For each episode, we have one expert from Europe, where the conversation is crystallizing into a new legislative project, the Digital Markets Act, and one expert from Latin America, where the conversation is gaining force. Taming the Titans is a new podcast from human rights organization Article 19, available next week on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. I hope you'll join me, along with the brilliant guests that we've brought together.
We're in a fight here. This is people against a very small transnational elite.
People in the global south, we have different rules, different needs, different priorities.
We need to continually learn from each other, use cases, best practices.
Concentration creates bottlenecks of power.
This is where the state is supposed to enter. We don't say like, oh, well, this company is poisoning people with their product and it's your fault because you accepted to drink that poison.
The internet was built as a decentralized platform. The hopes that we all had on the internet as a democratizing power depends on that key aspect of the architecture.
I feel almost every day that this is a David and Goliath task, but, David can sometimes win.